Rugrats was the show where I learned that dogs see in black and white.
Yeah, me too.
They also taught me about, like Passover and Christmas and Kwanzaa and stuff. Rugrats was lit. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on episode 62 of Cup of Joe's. I am your host, Joe Brown, joined by my best friend, Joe Perry. And Joe, it hasn't been that long since I've talked to you. I'm excited to talk to you again. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a little hot. The temp. It's like September gets hot and cold like by the hour. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I don't know. Maybe in North Carolina, maybe it's just hot still, but here in Jersey, it's like, like I woke up at 11 and I was a little chilly, and like when I woke up and then like 2 p.m. hit and then I was just like sweating. I was like, whoa, what happened here, guys?
It's 88 degrees here right now. It's pretty warm here. Yeah. I'm looking up how hot it is. It's 82 in New Jersey. It's still pretty hot there, so I'm not gonna.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm hot.
You're hot. You're always hot, though, Joe Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Joe. It does snow in North Carolina. I've seen that in movies.
Yeah. Maybe? I don't know. I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, we'll be excited to see the winter, but first we have to get through the fall, and we're going to talk about the fall video game release lineup as well. What do you think of that? That was a cool tease I had there, Joe.
Yeah, it was, Joe Brown.
Okay, anywho, so that's gonna be later on the show. We'll talk about exciting games we're excited for that are coming out this fall. I don't know why Joe is giggling so hard over there. I wasn't trying to start talking. I know that's not our first topic, Joe. I was giving a tease.
I thought I was like sitting here and you started saying it. I was like, well, I guess we're changing the schedule.
No, you gotta have faith in me. You gotta have faith that I know what I'm doing. I know most of the time I don't. But I need at least one of us to believe that I know what I'm doing.
You are a slippery person sometimes, Joseph. You go off the rails and I don't know what you're doing sometimes.
Just have faith. Just have faith.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Speaking of which, before we get started, I got another Would You Rather, Joe Brown.
Oh, okay.
This is a normal one. Nothing too crazy. Would you rather have waffles or pancakes?
Oh, that's a nice, delightful question. I'm a bigger waffle guy, and I know people are probably going to kill me for it, like including my own mom, who loves pancakes. She swears by pancakes and can't stand waffles. I don't understand. They're definitely related. They're like cousins, if not closer. But I'm a waffle guy. What about you?
I would like to say here on Cup of Joe's, we are waffle positive here. We are the waffle crew.
Yes. Oh,
they've got. Not only are they delicious, but they have abs and pockets to put syrup in. So I don't understand.
I know. The little syrup pockets, they make a difference.
Yeah, they do make a difference.
You could put you could throw some cinnamon on it too. Oof. Oh.
Oof.
Oh, Joe. Joe.
Speaking of cinnamon, let's talk about this game that you played.
Yeah, it's not just, I'm going to review this Cinnamon Simulator 2021 game that Joe is talking about.
Isn't there a character named Cinnamon in the game?
No. What? Are you looking?
I took a shot in the dark, was hoping that you'd say yes.
There is a ferret named, I think his name's Butter.
Perfect.
That's a food.
Linked it. Not only can you put cinnamon on your waffles, you can put butter, which is the name of a character in this game. Joe Brown, okay. Dark Deity. Tell me about it.
Yes, so we are finally getting around to reviewing Dark Deity, which was an indie game made by Freedom Games. It was a Kickstarter as well. For anyone who didn't know, like when the game was in the pre-launch and then like it launched at E3, and I was very excited to play it, and I dove right in. Then life kind of got in the way, and I didn't beat like the last 2 or 3 chapters for about 2 months. Like I don't know if you ever play games like that where you're just hardcore into it and then it takes forever to actually beat it. But that was me with Dark Deity. So we're finally getting around to talking about it, which was when we talked at E3, Joe. It was one of my most anticipated games that we saw at E3 because I was so excited. For anyone who doesn't know, Dark Deity is a tactical RPGs and indie game. I won't say kind of, it is essentially like a Fire Emblem. Like, the creators were inspired by Fire Emblem, and like they gave out free copies for reviews to Fire Emblem content creators to play it as well. So they definitely understood the audience that was going to be interested in playing this game. So Joe, I don't know if you've ever played Fire Emblem or like XCOM or Final Fantasy Tactics, like those tactical role-playing games. Do you have any experience, or am I just like talking into the void now?
I played XCOM's like newer stuff, like XCOM 2, I believe.
Okay.
But not in the sense of the way. Well, I guess it's the same thing. It's just a different look.
Right. It's guns instead of swords and axes.
I was saying this is like very what is it? Maybe very like 90s, early 2000s looking graphics wise with the map. So like, I don't know, XCOM is more of like the 3-dimensional thing that I was looking at, where this is more of like the 2D, but I'm sure they're the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's the 2D. Like, I think a lot of inspiration was from the GBA era of Fire Emblem games, which a lot of people, a lot of people say is like kind of a golden era. Like, it's what launched. Like, that's when you had, Roy with Smash, with Melee, and then, they actually had FE7, which is like a lot of people's first games that they played in the series, because that was the first one in the West. So like, there is definitely some nostalgia baked into this game from that late 90s, early 2000 era of Fire Emblem games. So I think that's a fair comparison from you. But I thoroughly, like, just saying it up front, I thoroughly enjoyed and loved playing Dark Deity. I know a lot of people have different feelings, pros and cons on it. Like, I don't think the excuse of, they're indie dev means that like any negative it doesn't hold up. Like, I think you can still negatively critique an indie game. Obviously, maybe you give them a little more wiggle room than like a full AAA big $100 million game. But there are definitely some issues. I know playing at launch, like me and my friend Ted, when we were playing like right away, there was a new patch literally every day for like the first 6 days after launch of fixing huge game breaking bugs. Like, you just had characters, like if you tried to move them from one square to another, like they just were untargetable, and then like you couldn't move, and you could like put another person on top of the square that the character was frozen on, and like it was just messed up. There were some chapters where like you beat it and the game like would just freeze, like you just couldn't save, like you beat the chapter but you couldn't continue through the game, so you had to play through the whole chapter again and stuff. So there were definitely some growing pains with Dark Deity the first couple of weeks, but for what it is now, I think, like, I beat it last week finally, those last couple chapters, and I think I only had one issue, like one minor glitch where I couldn't move a character. It ended up not mattering because I was just moving him to like end the turn anyway, so I just clicked end turn. But for the most part, all those glitches are away. But what's great about Dark Deity is it's like Fire Emblem, and Joe, I love Fire Emblem, but it still is unique and different on some really interesting game design choices. So the first thing is, Joe, I'm sure you're familiar with permadeath with XCOM and Fire Emblem and these types of games, where if a character runs out of HP, they die forever for the rest of the game, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So in Dark Deity, there is no permadeath. If your character runs out of HP, they don't die. They just permanently lose a stat. So what happens in most Fire Emblem games, especially if you don't, like, you'll just reset. Like, let's say you're playing Fire Emblem Awakening and, a character you like dies, you're just gonna like reset your 3DS and just restart that chapter because you don't want that guy to die. So what Dark Deity does, which is really smart, is like, let's say I had this really strong character. Her name was Bianca. She was literally a god. Like, I would put her on half the map, and then I would have all my other characters cover the other half of the map. And a lot of times she would get like a random crit or something that killed her. And so I didn't just lose my best character. She would die, and then she like permanently lost like -1 speed or -2 defense or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that way you still got punished for playing recklessly, so you still have to be tactical about your decisions. You still have to try to play safe, and you don't want anyone to get injured. But it gives you more wiggle room than in Fire Emblem, where it's like, oh, this character that I rely on died, well, I just have to reset the chapter. Like, there were many times that I had a character who got knocked out of the battle, and I was like, oh damn, like they lost 3 speed, but I'm literally 1 turn away from beating this chapter. So like that gave some interesting decisions the player had to make to decide, like, are you going to continue on because you're so close to beating it, or are you going to waste your time and reset? Because it's not like Bianca died anyway, so I could still use her the next chapter, right?
Yeah.
So that I think is the biggest difference between Fire Emblem and Dark Deity, and I love it. Like, I actually hope future Fire Emblem games actually implement that game mechanic over the permadeath, because I am one of those players that will reset, even for characters I don't care about in Fire Emblem. I will reset anytime somebody dies. So
that's fair.
There are 30 characters overall in Dark Deity. You play as Irving. He's this like redheaded guy, like generic protagonist. I don't know if he's inspired by Roy, because Roy also has red hair, or not. Maybe it's just a nice coincidence, nice coinky dink that they're both redheaded. And Roy was in that GBA era of games that they're emulating. But Irving, and he has like these close-knit friends that you go on an adventure, and you're trying to, generically stuff like the kingdom has a evil ruler, and you need to overthrow the ruler, and yada yada yada. Generic fantasy storyline stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the story's bad. I think it's definitely like, it's kind of just there to get you from chapter 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Like, it's like it needs to be there because we have to get you from this tree map to this desert map next, and we have to like write a story as to how you got there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I don't think the story is as memorable as some other tactical or just in general RPG games that I play, which I play a lot of. But I think for the most part, all of the characters are extremely likable. There's 30 playable characters. Off the top of my head, maybe I'd say like 26 or 27 of the characters I actually liked. Like, I enjoyed their character. You can only end up using 14 slots per chapter, which is one of the downfalls of no permadeath, is you're literally not, by late game, you're literally using less than half of your available army, because in Fire Emblem, like, you'd have characters die, so you'd have to use backup characters, but here you don't have that issue,
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say maybe 26 or 27 of the characters I ended up liking. In a lot of RPGs you have upgrade systems, and like when you get level 10 you promote into a higher class, and so you can, this game's replayability is like through the roof, because every character has 4 promoted classes they can choose from. Like, they're like semi-related. Like, if you're a magic user, you can either be like a healer, or like a big mage, or kind of like a conjurer. Like, they're all magic related. It's not like you're a magic user and then you promote and then you're like an axe user the next time around. So all 30 characters have 4 promoted classes at level 10, and then at level 30 you promote again into another promoted class, and you could choose any branch of promotion. Like, so the replayability of this game of Irving, if it's like, all right, I made him a knight, and then I made him a cavalier or whatever, and then I made him whatever on the 4th promotion, like, or 3rd promotion technically, the 4th stage I should say. Like, the next time around I could go a completely different route on my Irving, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can do a different like build setup type deal.
Right. And you do that with all 30 characters. So it's kind of overwhelming, honestly, at first when you get a character and it's like, oh, I already have 2 bow knights who are on horseback, and then this other lady came in and she's also an archer. It's like, well, do I just make her a regular archer? Because then I'd have, I don't want to have 3 cav archers. Like, so I did, and like the mages are all overlapping a lot of the classes, so I didn't want to just have everybody be the same type of mage class. So since it was my first time, I'm not trying to play optimally. I just tried to spread all the different archetypes around and stuff. And every character that joins, it's not like there's no character, like even late game characters you get with maybe 5 or 6 chapters left, you can still you still decide what their trait or what their class is. Like even if they're over the class level cap, like so when you're level 10, you promote to the next class. If you get a character that joins at level 16 or something, they don't have a predetermined class from level 10. They don't get a class until you choose it when they join.
Yeah.
So I love that part of the game. It was definitely hard to manage, but it was really cool having every character felt like my own, which was like different. So like me and Ted, when I said we were playing together, there's this guy Benji who's like really dumb, and like that's his whole trait is he talks like, you know, Benji does this, like he's a stupid guy, but he crits like crazy. And so Ted had his Benji was all in on crits and stuff. Like he went, I don't know if he went Berserker, I forget what the class is called, but it was like the more tiles you move per turn, the higher your crit rate is on attack. And I went with like a Defender Benji class, so he wasn't critting as much. So right away I kind of dropped Benji after like 2 or 3 chapters. Oh, this guy sucks. And Ted was like, oh, Benji's actually my best character. He literally crits half the chapter and he does the most damage. So there's cool interactions you have with your friends, how like Bianca was my best character, but I don't even know if he used it. And Benji was trash for me, but Benji was Ted's best character. A lot of fun stuff with that. And then the other big thing I'll say is the character design, Joe. Like if you're looking at photos on Steam or on Google or whatever, the art in this game is beautiful. Like yes, the actual maps of the game are very basic, very indie, like RPG Maker, whatever, simple. But the character design art is phenomenal in this game. For a 2D game, for an indie game like this, like these characters are gorgeously drawn, and like every piece of hair, like my boy Ford, he has a big beard, he's like a big drinker, owns a boat, like I'm like, oh man, I love him. Like, you know, all these different characters, like these are some of the like coolest like I don't know, art style, or I don't know those terms, but like all of the characters look really cool and they fit their, you know, their aesthetics for this fantasy world. I think that's the biggest like pro I have for this game, is the characters all look amazing.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, like the art style reminds me of that game Pry, or yeah, I think it's Pry.
I don't know, I'm not familiar with
Pry.
it.
It's Pyre. I can't.
Oh, Pyre.
It's not Pyre, not
yeah,
Pry.
the super giant. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks similar to that. The art style, like the people talking, not the maps and such. And then it has like a different kind of like drop down of what the actual gameplay looks like, but it looks like that. And the what is it? The art that you're talking about does look very nice. The characters look really well drawn. Looks like a lot of like love and care went into the game, as do most indie games. I find a lot of love and care goes into them, and like it looks like a really good game for the people who are interested in these kind of top-down RPG. Strategy type games. There's a guy playing it that I'm watching a little bit right now, and it looks very fun and interesting if you're really into that type of like style of gameplay.
Yeah, like I can't like talk enough about how good the character design is in this game. Like there's like 10 different girls that could be best girl. You know, you got a lot to choose from, and obviously that's important in Fire Emblem games too. There is no there is no romance per se option. Like in more recent Fire Emblem games, you can marry somebody, or in Fates and Awakening, you could have a kid with somebody, and stuff. But in Dark Deity, there is no romance. Like Irving doesn't. There are supports for the characters, and they grow and like each other over time. But there's no S rank support that like Irving marries X or something like that, where you choose. So supports are kind of just superfluous in the background. Like they don't even give you combat stats, which I found frustrating when I found that out. Like there were certain characters I was just keeping in my party because of they were supporting another stronger character, and then I found out that supports don't even give combat stats. Like they don't give you +2 speed or +2 attack or anything like they would in Fire Emblem. So that was frustrating. I felt like I wasted a couple chapters with characters I wasn't planning on using just for the support. But then they do have some characters. So there's no romance in the game. There's no Irving marries X, because you could technically play through the game without Irving if you want. It's not like you have to play as Martha, you have to play as Roy, or you have to play as Lynn, and they come every chapter. Like, you could bench Irving. Like, Ted benched his Irving, and I still played with mine. But so there is no definitive romance options, but there are characters through supports that end up with other characters in the end, which I found kind of like, I don't want to say frustrating, but like unfair. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, you're telling me that romance doesn't matter, so I should choose my 14 most effective units to field every map. But then it does matter, because story-wise, I'm happier that this character that I like ends up with somebody that they like. But I didn't choose that if I didn't field those two characters together in the same maps. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Excuse me, sorry for coughing. So it's kind of frustrating that, especially if there was like, oh, well, if I was in control, because in the Fire Emblem games, you can marry off, at least in the 3D, the Fates and Awakening, you could marry off who you wanted to, not just Robin or Corrin. Like, you can marry like Frederick and Cordelia, or like, you got to control everybody who they were making babies with. But in this one, I can't make sure Irving marries this person, but like, I also couldn't choose who Bianca ended up dating. Like, so that was kind of frustrating. Or who was it? Hold on, I have the character list up right now. Like Monroe, like, I couldn't make him try to have like a weird relationship with another character. But the game doesn't want me to care about relationships, but it does care about specific relationships if those characters are on the battlefield building support together, like, which I found kind of frustrating. And then the other huge downfall, I don't want to say huge, it's minor, but it was huge to me, is there's this character, his name is Faust, Faust. I have no idea. I love Dark Deity. I'm not, like, he literally, like, made me hate the game at some points. His character is dreadful. I don't know if he's a self-insert from the developers who are, like, trying to make a joke or something. Like, apparently people say he's parodying an isekai, which is, like, the Japanese anime where people fall into fantasy worlds and stuff, or video game worlds. So they're saying Faust is a real-life human being that's been isekai'd into the Dark Deity world, and that's why he talks so differently. Like, one of his supports with the girl who has the ferret, Sophia, who I loved, he tries to teach her about microtransactions and going to like the microtransaction store and stuff like this. It's just so annoying. Like, it takes you out of the element of the fantasy world you're in, talking about how great microtransactions are. And then, so, sorry, I'm coughing. The characters, whenever you start a chapter, this is all like Fire Emblem everything, like, you click on a character and they have like a canned like line, like their personality, the voice actors say something like, so in like Fire Emblem Echoes, like Jenny, you click on her, she's like, I'm ready to roll, something positive. I'm ready to roll. Show you she has like a positive personality and stuff. And so other characters reporting for duty, or I'll do my best, or stuff like that. But Faust, he goes, stop poking me. Like, he breaks the immersion that he's not doing something for the character. He's being clicked by the mouse. And he has like 3 or 4 lines that he's just breaking immersion on. Like, stop poking me, or the microgen. Like, it's just, he was truly infuriating. Like, out of all the 30 characters you can play, like, and of course he's an absolute monster, which is why I think he might be a self-insert, because he's like a mage who heals and does and doubles everybody, so he's super fast, and he does like crazy amounts of damage, and he's one of the last characters that you get in the game. So, like, I truly hated his character, and I had to use him because he was so busted. Like, I was actually putting myself at a disadvantage if I wasn't using such a strong unit that I despised.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, you hated his personality, but you loved his body.
No, I didn't love his body.
Why? He was busted. He was good.
Right, but what I'm saying is, because people build connections with characters in these RPGs, I felt like I had to use him because he was so strong. of a character of a unit. Like with his like stat wise, he was so strong.
That's what I'm saying.
I would have preferred to not use him, but I would have been putting myself at like a tactical disadvantage trying to beat the game by not using him.
Gotcha. Okay. I was making the joke that his body was his power because you had to use him because he was so good. That was the joke.
I'm sorry, I'm just not happy about about him. So like the what was cool, because I've been following the game on Twitter for a while, they actually had open casting for voice actors. Like they just had people submit like anywhere on the internet, and they put them in like a Google spreadsheet or something, people who did voiceover and stuff. So I actually had some friends who auditioned for it. I don't think any of them got it, but like I sent it around to them and thought it was cool. And the voice acting is really cool. Like, yeah, it's like, it's not fully voice acted. Like there's no cutscenes or they talk out the whole thing. They'll just be like, oh, or no way, or we can do this. But it's like a 2-sentence long sentence. You know what I mean? Like just the little sound bites they do. But everybody's like crit voiceovers are really cool. Like, yeah, overall, I don't know. I feel like I'm drowning too long on this, so I'll stop. But I thoroughly enjoyed Dark Deity. It is not Fire Emblem. I don't think it's fair to say it's trash because it's not Fire Emblem. Like they do some things differently with their math, with their statistics, like with the categories, with the level ups. Like it is not exactly Fire Emblem, and I don't think that should be held against it. That it's not exactly the thing that it's trying to it was inspired by. Because then if it was, then you should just play Fire Emblem anyway. Like it adds new game design that I really enjoy. It adds new characters and art design and character design that I enjoy. The story is kind of there because it has to be and not really relevant. I like the maps. Overall, I love Dark Deity.
You heard it here, folks. Joe Brown approves of the Dark Deity video game.
Okay.
You guys should also go check it out because apparently this game looks really cool and I kind of want to play it, but I don't know if I can handle it.
I can help you. There's actually, and there's so much, and the other replayability thing I'll just mention. So there's like easy, normal, hard mode, right? Like a normal game has, but you can actually customize even more. So you can customize unit order where like, so your first couple units are Irving, Garrick, Marin, and Alden. They're Irving's friends that they went to school together with, and they're going on this journey. But like, Faust is one of the last characters. You could randomize the character order, and Faust might be like the third character you get in the game. You know what I mean? Or like a super late or early game character doesn't show up till your 30th slot. Like, so there's that. You can randomize level ups. Like you can make it so that your characters all have 100% chance of gaining speed, or you could have it that your characters gain 0% chance of any category, so you make it really hard on yourself on level. You're not getting good level ups and stuff. Like the replayability of this game is phenomenal, and it's coming to Switch. They just announced, I think last week, that it's going to be coming to Switch soon.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. We're gonna get on Switch, everybody. Get on Switch.
I'll help you through. I'll tell you what characters to use, because some of these characters are just busted, Joe.
Busted. Well, if it's coming to Switch, you know what else we can do?
What's that, Joe?
We can talk about and look into all the possible new coming Switch games that are coming to Switch by... I'm lost in these words. Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color games are coming to Switch.
No. Only... So that's the thing. That's what I was going to talk about. It's Game Boy and Game Boy Color games are reportedly coming to Switch.
Go. So we're going to get all them oldies coming in. Let's see. Let's see what this article says that I have right here from Game Informer. With over 100 games already on the Nintendo Switch library, consists of the NES and SNES favorites through the years, the additional Game Boy titles just makes the service that much sweeter. So it's coming for free.
It's the Nintendo Switch Online, so not free technically. But
if you have that, then you have it, pretty much. And let's see, is there a date of when this is happening, or is this still? It's just coming soon.
No, it doesn't. As of recording, there isn't a date yet. This article by Liana Rupert on Game Informer talks about that it was stated in this in a recent report from the good folks over at Eurogamer, an inside source has confirmed to the site that this era of gaming is finally making it onto Nintendo Switch Online library. This report follows hot on the heels of a podcast earlier this week that claimed the same. When Game Informer reached out to our sources, we were simply told they were, quote, on the way, though no date was offered. So I think it also makes sense too, right? Like, it's just free money. Like, you could just put those games on there, and then maybe you'll get more people to get Nintendo Switch Online.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Now, what do you think about the fact that it's Game Boy and Game Boy Color are coming to Switch? Because I think a lot of people would be more excited if it was the Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, because GBA was a pretty good handheld. Had a lot of good games that people would love to play on Switch.
Yeah, it's a pretty good era of video games on that. But you got to start. You got to start at the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, because maybe after we do the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, we might move to N64. How cool would that be to play Banjo-Kazooie on the Switch again? That would be cool.
Would be pretty cool. I hope one day they'll give us N64 and GameCube and stuff on Nintendo Switch Online, but they're just not available.
One can dream, but we could get there. I
Now,
just feel like a lot. Go ahead.
Do you think this shuts down? So, like, for years now, everyone's saying, "Oh, Switch Pro is coming," and it's so common that we all know it's coming, but it hasn't been said or whatever. And for years, the same thing is we're gonna get a Game Boy. What was it? The collector's edition thing that we got with the NES and the SNES. Remember those a couple years ago?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a Game Boy. I don't think we're gonna get a Game Boy.
I would say that this pretty much like deconfirms this theory that people have had for 3 years, that we're going to be getting the Game Boy Classic.
I think that's just a waste, though. Like, why would you? Like, I can imagine doing the NES and the SNES, but I can't think of it. It's like, oh, look, we made a Game Boy that's got all your games on it. It's like, no. Here's the Switch with all the Game Boy games on it. Like,
right?
I don't know. They even have the SNES and the NS.
You'll get there.
The NES and the SNES stuff on the Switch now. I think those are just like collector's items, and I think the Game Boy one would just be a waste of.
Which I have collected,
and resources,
and I have not opened either of those boxes.
Yeah, now we just need the N64 Classic.
Oh my god, I can't. I think the world would explode if we got N64 games on Switch, Joe. Oh my god,
that would be crazy.
Now, are there any Game Boy, like, obviously besides Pokemon for me, like, are there any Game Boy games that you could think of, not GBA, just Game Boy, that you'd be like, oh, when this drops on Switch Online, I'm playing it right away?
That's the thing. I can't really remember anything other than Game Boy at the moment.
What was the...
I know that they had, like, those 2 Zelda games that were, like...
the Oracle games?
Yeah, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. Those are fun.
That would be cool.
Other Game Boy games that I play, I can't even remember. I can remember more of like the Game Boy Advance games. I can't even remember a lot of Game Boy Color games. That's
what's so sad. Is like if there's GBA, we'd get like the Mega Man Battle Network games or like Fire Emblem and so many cool things on GBA. The only thing, what's the Mario game? It was Super Mario Land 2 and the 6 Golden Coins or something, I think. That was a Game Boy game. You know that one?
It's Super Mario Land, yeah.
Yeah, where he's in space at one point, and he like has those like flight ones. I love that game as a kid. So
the 6 Golden Coins.
Yeah, so I would play that one if this came, but like
I played Wario Land. Wario Land was a good game.
Wario Land was a great game. Yes, that was a fun one.
Then we have Donkey Kong Country. We have Donkey Kong Land. Don't know what that is. I have now resourced the internet to tell me what. Oh, we have Pokemon Pinball.
Ooh.
Oh,
Pokemon TCG, the original trading card game on Game Boy.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. And then what else we got? We got a lot of Kirby games.
Kirby is great, especially on handheld.
Let's see if I'm coming up with any other ones here. Hold on. I think that's about... Oh, we got Mario Golf. I forgot about Mario Golf. And then there was also a Mario Tennis game, too. I did forget about those. But, like, remaking the Pokemon games would be silly because they've already remade them.
It would be really cool to have Red, Blue, and Yellow on the Switch, though. That would actually be...
It would
that
be
would be pretty baller, Joe.
But I have Red and Blue on my Game Boy DS already, too. So
right, and I have them on the 3DS as well.
Oh, the 3DS. That's what I meant. I'm trying to look at these games that are on for the Game Boy. I can't really...
Yeah, that's why I don't think this is as big of a deal as people are making it out to be, because it's like you're getting the Game Boy lineup. You're not getting GBA, where most people, I feel, like that's when you were getting really big games was on the GBA.
Let's see what we got for GBA. I'm going to pull it up.
Like Mega Man, Battle Network, you got Fire Emblem games.
Get your Mega Man out of here. Oh, we got Legend of Zelda and the Minish Cap. That was there. Oh, we have the Mario Kart games, Metroid. Okay, this is all coming back to me now.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
We got Sonic Advance. I remember that game. That was fun. We have like Castlevania, Donkey Kong Country's back.
Dude, what do you know about the Legacy of Goku 2 on Game Boy Advance?
Yes.
What a classic.
What a classic. Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. That was the first one. And then there was the second one. Man, I'm watching Dragon Ball Z right now. Like, I'm rewatching it right now. Not like as we're talking, but like just in general. I got you.
Where are you at?
We're on Namek. We're working up to fighting Frieza. The Ginyu Force just showed up.
Now the real question is, did you start with Dragon Ball? Because you should.
I did not.
Oh, you're such a loser.
Start with Dragon Ball.
Oh my god, I can't stand you.
It's because I was specifically looking for like that whole. I've been like dying to rewatch the whole like, what is it? The Frieza like Android and Majin Buu arc again. Like I just been wanting to watch that, so I just started with that.
Okay.
It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch all of it. It's like I really just wanted to see this line of events. Because like I can't remember what happened, and I want to.
Well, that's like pretty much the entirety of DBZ is those three.
Well, yeah, it is. It is those three, I guess. I've been dying to watch them again, and I finally got the ability to like have access to them. So I just started with the ones that I wanted to watch. Because like if I was watching the original, I'd be like, oh, when am I gonna get to go over to...
No, that's not what you would say. You know what you would say if you were watching Dragon Ball?
I'd be like, man, there's a lot of weird nudity parts and cursing in this show that I did not realize as a kid.
Well, yes, you'd say that too. You'd say that too, but you'd also say, wow, this is the best version of Dragon Ball, hands down. That's what you'd also be saying.
Is that true?
100%. I love Dragon Ball.
Well, I'll watch it after I'm done watching this.
It's like, what is it, like 150 episodes or something like that? And it's like everybody's there's no power level creep yet. Like Krillin and Yamcha and Tien are humans and they're still viable, where they're just useless later on in the show. So like every character, because Goku is young and inexperienced, like every character has a chance. You know, like the tournament the tournament arcs in Dragon Ball are like literally some of the greatest anime I've ever watched. They're so good.
I don't think I've ever finished Dragon Ball now that I think about it.
Oh, dude, you are missing out, Joe.
I will have to go back and watch it.
You know what you won't be missing, though?
The upcoming lineup of games coming out this fall.
Yeah, some of these highly anticipated fall releases in the video game world. So, luckily, we found this article on Polygon talking about by Alan Wen, the 26 most anticipated games coming this fall. So we're just going to, lightning speed through it. Any games that stick out to us, maybe we'll go further on, but we are almost in fall. Joe is saying September is fall when I'm going off the calendar that we are technically not in fall yet. But whatever you want to believe, we're either in fall or just about to be in fall. So let's get excited for these lineups, Joe.
Let's get excited. So some of these games have already come out because this article says fall is the beginning of September as well. So we have Sonic Colors coming in at number 1.
Well, I don't know, it's not ranked. It's not ranked at number 1. It's the first one to show because it's September 7th. It's in date order.
It's in release date order, so it's coming in at number 1 because it already came out. It came out on the 7th. I didn't even know this game was coming, so I've got nothing to say about it. Joseph, you have anything to think about Sonic Color Ultimate?
No, I haven't. I have not played it yet. I will probably wait until there's like the Black Friday deal or something to pick it up, like half off or something.
Yeah, cool. All right, and then there's another game that's already come out again. It came out. Oh no, it comes out tomorrow.
Well, it's called, as of release, it's out. As of this episode being uploaded, Joe, it's out.
It's out. Sorry.
Remember, you're in the future right now.
I'm in the future. The Artful Escape. It looks really cool. They refer to it as a trippy space rock opera from Beethoven and Dinosaur. I don't know what that means, but
I'm out.
You're out.
I'm out.
It's a narrative-based platformer. I might look into it. It looks pretty interesting. But Joe Brown's out. We got your cool Japanese role-playing game called Tales of Arise. Tales of Arise.
And that's a big that's a big release. That's a big series. It's a big JRPG series, like the Tales of series. If you've ever heard of it, Joe, it's always something else. And apparently, it's the 25th. Last year was the 25th anniversary of the Tales of series, so this is like a big deal. I don't know. I'm not playing. I haven't played any of the other ones, but that comes out the September 10th.
I'm out for that one. Sorry, Joe Brown.
That's fine.
I'm out. Then we got WarioWare Get It Together. This is a game I'm looking forward to. This looks fun. I love the WarioWare games, so this game looks very, very cool. This game is supposed to come out also on September 10th. And if you guys don't know what the WarioWare games are, you should look them up because they're very hard to describe because of how wacky and goofy they are. It's just a bunch of mini games that you play with Wario and his friends. And Mario or Luigi aren't in it, so don't even bother asking about that. So there's that.
Wow.
Joseph. Wow.
Up next is Deathloop, which we talked about on the podcast before, and Joe is very excited for. That comes out September 14th, which is creeping up on us, Joe. You got to get ready.
I'm ready.
I'd also quickly want to mention that Life is Strange True Colors also comes out this week. As of recording it, or as of upload, it is out. So I don't know why that's not on this list.
Oh, that's funny. That's not on this list. Must not be that anticipated. Anyway, moving on to the next one.
That was hurtful, Joe.
I know it's your favorite franchise. I'm sorry.
So Kenna Bridge of Spirits was that Sony game that showed off that was supposed to be on launch but got delayed, or in the launch window, I should say. I'm very excited for this game. It comes out September 21st. Once Joe saw a photo of it again, he remembered what it was. Like, the animation looks amazing, and I believe it's only $40. It's not like the full 60 or 70, so it's actually going to be a little cheaper, which I appreciate.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Sounds like an interesting game to look into. We got another game that's coming out on the 23rd called Sable.
I think Sable.
Think Breath of the Wild, but with no combat and an open world of vast desert that you can traverse via a hover bike while exploring the ruins of an ancient alien civilization. Now, if that doesn't sound interesting, you can get right out of this podcast because that sounds pretty cool. I was going to be like, not interested. And then I read that and I said, oh, whoa, hold on a minute. That
does sound pretty cool.
It sounds pretty cool. So take a look at that game. It's coming out later this month on the 23rd. Both pretty much only for PC and Xbox. That's all we're getting it on. It's not coming to Switch or PlayStation. This is another game, Lost Judgment. Oh, it's part of the Yakuza series. That's why it looks so familiar. Yeah, it looks like this is a. Let me. Sorry, I don't know. I know about the.
It's hard for you to talk and read at the same time, Joe. And I understand.
Following the stuff of the spinoff of the Saga Yakuza series, from pure gangster brawler to gripping legal drama, lawyer turned detective. I'm not even going to try to say that. Returns with the sequel. In the sequel, Lost Judgment, with a case that takes him to the same part of Yokohama, seen in the Yakuza Like a Dragon, and requires going undercover in a high school.
Oh, sounds nice,
fun. But these boys look too old. So good luck, boys.
Good luck. We're like a 1980s comedy film, or like 21 Jump Street, also.
Pretty much, yeah, just like that.
All right, that's
that
one's
coming out the 24th. Sorry, yeah.
Up next is New World. It's difficult not to ignore the colonial connotations, although New World isn't a historical game, but rather an open-world fantasy MMO where players find themselves shipwrecked on the supernatural island of Eternum. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm already out. MMO, get me out of there.
Good luck to you, though. Good luck to you all on September 28th.
Good luck with meaty combat that's more Dark Souls than World of Warcraft. There are all kinds of ways to make a name for yourself. We're out of here.
Onto a real game next.
Onto a real game. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania.
Yes.
We're getting the 20th anniversary of the Super Monkey Ball series. So we're going to be playing this new game. Is it rolls up with the original classics into a definitive remaster edition using real physics. Okay, all right.
Here's an important conversation we have to have, Joe, because I found out that the new Super Monkey Ball game, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, will not have a live system. Now, I don't know if you played Super Monkey Ball.
What?
Yeah.
You're not gonna have a live, so you can just keep falling off?
That's what they said. Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go.
I saw that and I was like, man, they really are, making every game easy.
We're getting Super Monkey Ball, Super Monkey Ball 2, and Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Yeah. Banana Mania. So there is an addition. There is a new game in there.
Yes.
Well,
that comes out October 5th on everything under the sun.
Everything you could possibly imagine. What we got next, Joe Brown? What's this next?
We have Jet: The Far Shore. Sword and sorcery developer Super Brothers returns a decade later with Jet: The Far Shore, a cinematic interstellar epic about exploring a new ocean planet in hope of securing a future for your people. Compared to most games about space exploration, this is about space. I thought it was about the ocean because it says shore in it. Compared to most games about space exploration, this is decidedly less about combat or pillaging resources, but rather about laid-back exploration. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Coming October 5th on PC, PS4, and PS5.
Then we got Far Cry 6. We're not even going to talk about this one at all because I'm excited about it, and we'll talk about it when it comes out after I play it. You know what it is. You know how we do here. Far Cry 6, we can't wait for it. Well, I can't wait for it. Joe Brown probably just like, whatever. But I'm excited. You get a backpack that shoots bombs out of it. I'm for this. You get a little chorizo dog. His name is Chorizo. He's a little wiener dog who ain't got no legs, but he has a wheelchair. I'm for this. I'm in this, man. You got a gun that shoots CDs that only has Ricky Martin in it. I'm for it. Wow. It's coming out the 7th. On what is Luna?
That's another one of those cloud things, I think, if I'm not misremembering.
It's coming out for everything,
including
like literally
Luna and Stadia.
Wow,
Joe. Imagine caring about a game coming out on October 7th when there's a game on October 8th coming out called Metroid Dread. Celebrating the series' 35th anniversary, Metroid Dread is the first side-scrolling Metroid title in 19 years. It picks up where Metroid Fusion left off, in what is also the long-awaited conclusion of the mainline Metroid arc involving bounty hunter Samus Aran and the titular parasites. It's also perhaps going back to its original alien inspirations by injecting elements of stealth and horror. Besides combat and exploration, you'll find yourself being pursued by seemingly indestructible Emmy robots who can instantly kill Samus if they catch her. I could not care less about Far Cry 6 because on October 8th, we're getting Metroid Dread, baby.
Baby, here we go. Okay, then we got Back 4 Blood. That's coming out October 12th, which will be exciting to try the full game and not just a part of the game.
Yeah, you played the beta.
That I played in August. But I'm excited to see where that one goes. Literally like a Left 4 Dead game, but with different special infected now. It seems like a good time. I'm excited for it. Excited to get back out there. That's coming out October 12th for literally everything. Apparently if you pre-order the deluxe or unlimited editions, you're granted early access to October 8th.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Joe Brown both really don't care about this next one, but just because we know people do care. Battlefield 2042 is coming out. It's another game where you're a soldier and you're going pew 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 pew, saving the world
as you do.
Story
in
2042. 2042. Set in a grim high-tech future devastated by climate change. Who would have thunk? Where many soldiers are climate refuge known as no-pats. First-person shooter Battlefield 22 surprisingly wants to steer clear of political statements. Oh, okay. But as a single-player campaign is absent, so there is no single-player campaign.
I'm out. Anywho, let's move on. October 22nd. Goodbye, 2042. I hope whatever. On to a real game, Joe. Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy, which we saw at E3. There was like a 20-minute thing in the Square Enix presentation on it. I cannot wait for this game. Hopefully I'll be done with Metroid Dread by October 26th so that I can play Guardians of the Galaxy. You and I are definitely going to be playing this one.
We are very excited about it. We here at the Joe Factory are excited about it.
Up next is
Solar Ash. Sorry, go for it.
Solar Ash, Heart Machine developer of adventure platformer Solar Ash, has moved from the hardcore top-down 2D Zelda-like action of its 2016 debut Hyper Light Drifter. Okay, that's a big game.
Okay, it was a good game.
To a full 3D game that has both the open traversal of publisher Annapurna Interact. Annapurna's behind this too. The Pathless, as well as huge monolithic boss encounters that conjure memories of Shadow of the Colossus. Damn, this article is just throwing words onto Solar Ash. I feel bad if it can't hold up to it.
Can't hold up.
So the next game from the Hyperlight Drifter people, that game is coming out. Solar Ash on the 26th for PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5 and PC. Man, work a full-time job and come home and do this, your brain don't work. Crap. You know what we are going to be playing, Joe?
No, you're going to be playing this game.
No,
I'm not.
I am buying your copy of this game. We are playing it together, okay? Okay, we are playing Riders Republic from Ubisoft. Billed as an extreme sports MMO, Riders Republic takes the extreme winter sports of Ubisoft's Annecy's Steep, if you remember Steep from a couple years ago, and applies them to a greater variety of activities set in a massive and diverse open world made up of a number of real-life national parks in the U.S. meshed together. Up to 50 players can compete with each other in mountain biking, skiing, snowboarding, wingsuit flying, and rocket wingsuiting. Joe, we can rocket swingsuit together, with the freedom to switch between activities at will, or just hang out in a big social hub showing off their looks with a variety of outfits and cosmetics. I am so down on October 28th.
Okay, you can be so down for October 28th, but we can also get down even more on October 29th for the Mario Party Superstars. A Mario Party title may have you assume that Nintendo is lacking in the big releases fall, but tell that to the 28th. What is this blurb that they're giving me? This is the worst. Essentially, this game is just all these different mini games to be.
It's a best
all the different Mario Party. The best of. So I guess we're not really going to be hitting it up because it's only the best of.
But what's nice about it? They did show this at Nintendo Treehouse during E3. They had like people playing it. It's what, I don't know, what's it from 5? It's either 4 or 5 different Mario Party games all these board games are coming from, and it's online, Which, remember, like, Super Mario Party on the Switch at first, like, the online was garbage, and it only worked on, like, 5 things, and then, like, 2 years later, then they put online into Super Mario Party. So now Mario Party Superstars is getting the online from the jump, which is probably going to be a really big boost to it, because that was a big downfall from Super Mario Party, was, like, it was just that online was either non-existent, or when it was there, it made the game unplayable.
Unplayable. So Joe, you remember that? Remember when Call of Duty made a World War II game?
Which time?
Yeah, this new time that's coming out in November 5th.
Oh,
it's not called Call of Duty World at War. It's not called Call of Duty Bananas. It's not called Call of Duty 562.
It's not Call of Duty Banana Mania.
It's not Call of Duty Banana Mania. This one's called Call of Duty Vanguard. After taking the series back to the Second World War again, Sledgehammer Games is staying in that era for a blockbuster first-person shooter, Call of Duty Vanguard, with a multi-protagonist campaign.
Can you do me a favor, Joe, and say the D in Vanguard? You're actually tilting me.
Vanguard.
Thank you.
Vanguard. With a multi-protagonist campaign that takes a leaf from the Battlefield 5. Oh, so we're just stealing from other war games. Cool. That's a first. By showing the conflict from a number of diverse fronts that are connected by the order. Okay.
Listen, what do you Call of Duty? It's new. We don't have to talk. We're not going to play this. Like, it is what it is. It's Call of Duty. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, or I'm sad for you. Whatever.
Go for it, Activision. You can take it away.
Yeah, that's November 5th, which is a pretty good window, because they're going to have about a month of sales on that before a bigger game we're going to talk about. Forza Horizon 4, or Forza, if someone punches me through my screen for not saying it that way, which actually did look pretty cool at E3, if you remember, Joe. It's a new console generation, hasn't really begun without a shiny new racing game to show off the stunning tech. That is true. For the Xbox Series X, this comes courtesy of PlayerUnknown's Games with open world racer Forza Horizon 5, which takes the series to the huge and diverse geography of Mexico. That's right, I remember that. It did look pretty cool. With breathtaking locations that span beaches, historic cities, canyons, deserts, jungles, and snow-capped volcano, variety is the spice of life with hundreds of cars intact. Seasons first introduced in Forza Horizon 4 also make a return, yada yada yada. It's a racing game that shows off how powerful the consoles are. It's coming out November 9th on PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X, with early access getting it November 5th.
What? Forza? More like Farza, am I right?
Got him.
Got him. Do we really have to talk about this? Grand Theft.
We're not talking about it. It's GTA 5 is not a new game on PS5 and Xbox Series X. That shouldn't be on the fact that GTA 5 is on this list and Life is Strange True Colors is embarrassing. Anyway, on to the next game. Shin Megami Tensei 5, the long-awaited game coming out on the Switch. One of the first games ever announced for the Switch, by the way. Did you know that, Joe? In that original, remember that original January press conference? They showed off the Switch. This was one of the first games that they ever announced, and it's coming out here like 4.5 years into the Switch's life.
Nowhere.
But so Shin Megami Tensei, that's like Atlas, that's like the Persona people. I have a lot of friends who play a lot of Persona games. I've played 4 and 5. They're very excited about Shin Megami Tensei 5. I'm happy for them. They can play it finally on November 12th.
November 12th. What else we got? We got a big one. We're gonna talk more about this later, so we're just gonna glance over it. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl coming out in November 19th. We're excited. We're gonna play it. I don't know which one I'm getting yet. Joe Brand hasn't told me which one he's getting yet, but we're gonna figure it out later.
I'm getting Pearl. I'm a Palkia loyalist through and through.
All right. Diamond it is for Joe Perrin. Here we go. Next up is Final Fantasy 14 Online Endwalker. Isn't this game already out?
No, it's a new expansion. You know how World of Warcraft has expansions? It's a new expansion for Final Fantasy 14.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's actually funny because there's actually a big crossover in the Pokemon community that also plays FF14, and with early access, the Endwalker expansion comes out on November 19th as well. So there's a big a portion of the Pokemon community that has no idea what to do on November 19th. Do they play Pokemon or do they play Final Fantasy 14? It's actually pretty funny.
There you go. Which one are we playing? What are we doing?
Oh, I'm playing Pokemon. You know, come on, Joe.
Pokemon. And last on the list, it would not be an anticipated video game list if this game was not on it. We got Halo Infinite coming out on December 8th. I'm excited about it. I'm pumped to get back into that big green boy of mine, Master Chief. See what he's doing. See what he's up to. They've been doing their flights. They call them flights for like their online multiplayer, like what is it? Online multiplayer like demos and stuff. They've been doing them for like weekends at a time. My friends have been playing them, and I've been watching them playing them. Looks pretty fun. I signed up to hopefully be on the next one, so we'll see what happens. But this game comes out in December 8th.
Now,
PC,
do you
Xbox One,
think,
and Xbox Series X.
Do you think December 8th is a little late for a Halo game?
No, I don't.
Because you're missing out on all of November sales that Call of Duty is getting, and you're missing out on Black Friday, which is, I know, it would be, a lot of times you don't have big sales because it just came out, but whatever, it'd be at least some type of sale of a Black Friday deal that people are going to be buying Call of Duty. I feel like December 8th is you're kind of missing the boat a little bit.
Nah, I think they'll be fine. I think the hype will be real. I think pre-orders will be available those times, maybe at a deal, but I think the hype is real. I don't think it's late. People are gonna buy this game. People are gonna get it. People gonna get it, Joseph.
The top comment is someone complaining about how is GTA 5 one of the most anticipated games. Shouldn't be on this list. Thank you, random commenter. All right, so Joe, out of all these games we just ran through, what is your most anticipated fall release video game?
My most anticipated one, it'll probably be Far Cry 6.
Mm.
I think I'm excited for that one, but Deathloop is a close one, but it's coming out next week, so I can't be that more anticipated for it because I'm gonna get to play it soon. So bada bing, bada boom. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna play it. And I'm gonna let you know how it is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just like scrolling through. I'm sure you can hear me scrolling, but
I hear you scrolling.
Like Pokemon doesn't count, obviously. So besides Pokemon, I would say it's Metroid Dread is my most anticipated.
I was gonna say, why are we even talking about this? We know that's your most anticipated game.
But hold on. If we're not talking Nintendo, because there was like a bunch of games on this list, it would be Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is my most anticipated non-Nintendo game of the fall. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I like it.
All right, so I've had an enjoyable experience with you, Joe. I want to thank you for your time, and I would like you to take us out.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Cup of Joe's. I've been your host, Joe Perrin, accompanied to me by my best friend, Joseph Brown. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of Cup of Joe's.
We'll see you in World War II again.
There you go, again.